When you look in the mirror, what do you see? You probably see, well, you, a single person. But what if I told you that you're not actually alone? Not ever. What if I told you there's a secret, thriving world living inside of you and on you that's just as much a part of you as your own heart? So let's just get right to it with this question. Are you entirely human? Your gut reaction is probably, of course I am. But the real scientific answer, it's a hard no. And honestly, understanding why is going to completely change how you see your body, your health, and maybe even who you are. And this quote just nails it. We aren't just one thing. We are walking, talking ecosystems, absolutely bustling with life. It's a partnership, right? A collaboration between our human cells and literally trillions of tiny microscopic organisms. So just how big is this internal community we're talking about? Let's try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this world inside us. The numbers are kind of mind-blowing. Okay, so you might have heard this old fact that microbes outnumber our own cells 10 to 1. For a long time, that's what we thought. But, science moves on. The new reality, with better research, shows the ratio is actually closer to 1 to 1, which, believe me, is still absolutely staggering. To put that into perspective, let's start with us, just our human cells. The average adult has about 30 trillion of them. That's a number so huge, it's almost impossible to even picture. And now get this, living right there alongside those 30 trillion cells are somewhere between 30 and 40 trillion microbes. Bacteria, fungi, you name it. So here's the kicker. For every single cell you call you, there's at least one microbial buddy along for the ride. You're as much them as you are you. And they're not all just piled up in one spot. They form these unique, specialized communities all over our bodies. Your gut, especially the large intestine, that's like the main metropolis. But there are thriving colonies on your skin, in your mouth, your lungs. You get the idea. Everywhere. Each spot is its own distinct habitat. So, okay, we've established there are trillions of them. But what are they actually doing in there? Are they just freeloading? No way. They are an active, essential, and totally unseen workforce keeping you going every single day. And their job description? It's incredible. I mean, this internal workforce does stuff that is absolutely critical for our survival. They digest parts of food our own bodies can't break down. They produce essential vitamins we need, like K and B12. They even train our immune system, basically teaching it the difference between a friend and an enemy. So let's be super clear about this. This isn't just some casual relationship where we're a convenient house for them. No, they are active, vital partners in our health. Our survival is fundamentally tied to theirs. We need them. All right, if you thought digesting food was cool, you might want to sit down for this next part, because this connection is maybe the most surprising, mind-bending one of all, the powerful link between what's going on in your gut and what's going on in your head. This all happens through something called the gut-brain axis. Think of it like a biological superhighway. It's a constant two-way communication network between the trillions of microbes in your gut and your actual brain. They are talking to each other all the time. So how does this talk even happen? Well, basically, your gut microbes produce these little chemical signals. Think of them like tiny text messages. Those messages then travel up to the brain using channels like the vagus nerve or just cruising through your bloodstream. And when your brain gets these messages, they can directly influence your thoughts, your feelings, your mood. And what kind of messages are we talking about? Well, believe it or not, some of your gut bacteria are basically little factories for neurotransmitters. Things like serotonin and dopamine, the very chemicals that regulate our mood that we usually only associate with the brain. It's so profound that scientists are now looking at really strong links between gut health and conditions like depression and anxiety. It's a whole new frontier. This relationship between us and our microbes is ancient. It's been stable and fine-tuned over millions of years of us evolving together. But here's the conflict in our story. Our modern way of life is actually putting this critical partnership in serious danger. You've got to understand the history here. This isn't a new arrangement. We have been evolving side by side in this beautiful state of symbiosis for millions of years. Our immune systems learn to live with the good guys, and the good guys learn to help us survive. It's this delicate, balanced dance. But that ancient balance is now being seriously disrupted. And a few of the biggest culprits are things we see every day. Diets packed with processed foods that basically starve our good bacteria, the overuse of antibiotics that can just wipe out entire microbial communities, and even our super sterile, clean environments. All of this stuff is reducing the diversity inside us. And why does that loss of diversity matter so much? Because a less diverse microbiome is a less healthy, less resilient one. So this isn't a small problem. It can lead to some really serious health consequences, from a weaker immune system to chronic inflammation and a higher risk for all sorts of diseases. So where do we go from here? This incredible new science isn't just changing medicine. It's forcing us to completely rethink and redefine what it even means to be a human self. The good news is that science is racing to find solutions. We're seeing amazing new therapies like fecal transplants to help people with severe infections. And we're getting so much smarter about using things like probiotics and prebiotics to support our microbial allies. The key thing to remember is that this is all personalized medicine. Your microbiome is as unique as your fingerprint. And that really brings us to this powerful final idea. This quote just gets right to the heart of it all. Knowing about our microbial half doesn't make us less human. It shows us that being human was never a solo act. It's always been a team sport. This partnership is what completes us. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. From now on, when you think about yourself, are you only going to picture your human cells? Or can you start to see the bigger picture? That you are a vast, complex, beautiful community. If we're an ecosystem, then what does it really mean to be me?